Hello, hello, everyone. Dr. C is here. I am bringing you this lecture, pretend, from the library in the Convento Santo Domingo in Lima, Peru. All right, so let's get started on today's discussion about magic, science, and religion. What we're going to talk about today are what some theorists speculate about the relationship between these three seemingly very different disciplines: magic, science, and religion. And in order to sort of make this process a little bit easier, I'm using these three images: magic, science, and religion on your screen to help you visually see what I'm describing in terms of these relationships. Okay, so I want to start with the work of Marcel Mauss. And if you are an anthropology student and have taken other anthro classes, you have probably heard of Mauss or maybe even read something by him. He is the anthropologist who gave us the theory of the gift and the anthropological perspective on gift giving. So he also wrote about magic, science, and religion. And he argued that the relationship between these three is based on who believes them. So he argues that religion and science are actually very similar because these are social beliefs. These are beliefs that are shared within a group. So the reason that I know science is because a bunch of scientists, biologists, chemists, zoologists, physicists, etc., do their scientific research and then they share that knowledge with everyone. So it's a social practice. In the same way, religion is a social practice, right? So here I am in this convento in Peru. This was built hundreds of years ago by the Jesuits in order to bring Catholics together in the country of Peru. It's social. Religion is social, rituals are social, etc. On the other hand, magic is the odd one out. Mauss says magic is an individualistic belief. Like, you personally see something and think about whether or not it's magic. Magic isn't a shared belief. When we all share beliefs about superstitious things, that's part of religion. But if it's magic, it's something that you've internalized and you're thinking about as an individual. So magic is separate from science and religion. Then we have Malinowski. You guys read Malinowski for today, this week, whatever. You guys have read some Malinowski. We talked about him in a bunch of other lectures. So Malinowski says, well, hold on. The divide in the world is between sacred things and profane things, holy things and just like everyday run-of-the-mill stuff. So he says, look, magic and religion, these both deal with sacred things. Either we understand how it's operating, those sacred things, and that's what we call religion, or we don't entirely understand how those sacred things are happening, and that's what we call magic. In contrast, science is the realm of the profane, the everyday. Why, when I hold something from a great height and I drop it, does it hit the ground? It's just science. It's everyday, right? So our understandings of biology and chemistry and physics, our understandings of nature, these are all profane, everyday things. So Malinowski says, look, religion and magic are grouped together, and science is the one that's weird. We've also talked about the work of Stanley Tambia already. He was the one who had the very philosophical approach where we humans are able to control and influence the world around us. And so that's what we actually think magic is. It's just us controlling the world around us. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that he says, look, the difference between science, religion, and magic is the role of the person in charge, I guess you could say, right? So magic, that's man being in charge of the universe. Science, man being in charge of the universe. But there are things beyond that we cannot control through science or magic, and that is the realm of the gods or the universe itself, and that is where religion stands. So if man is in charge of it, he uses magic and science, but if the gods are in charge of it, they use religion. So religion is the one that's the outlier. So we have three very different perspectives. Mauss says magic is the one that's the odd one out. Malinowski says science is the odd one out. Tambia says religion is the odd one out. So I want to give you one more perspective, and that's a scholar named Arthur C. Clarke. Arthur C. Clarke has a fantastic quote that I love, so I put it on the screen for y'all. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I'm gonna say it one more time. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And you know what? I know this is true because when a piece of technology that I do not understand starts breaking, like your car starts breaking down, your Xbox starts breaking down, your phone starts giving you problems, what do? Oh, you panic and then you start talking to it. It's okay, Xbox. It's gonna be okay. Hey, baby, come on. Just turn on. I'm gonna unplug you. I'm gonna plug you back in and everything's gonna be okay, baby, right? Please just work, right? If any of you have ever had a car that hasn't started and then you start talking to it, why are you talking to it? Because it's a technology you don't understand, so you treat it like it's magic. We have so many technologies in our lives that we don't even begin to understand, and we just use them. And how do they work? It's magic, man. The internet is magic. Like, ask your grandma how the internet works, and she'll tell you. Like, she'll straight say it to your face. It's magic. By the way, who is Arthur C. Clarke, this philosopher that I'm quoting? You probably are familiar with him because he's a science fiction writer. Now, he's also a philosopher and a science writer, but he's the guy who gave us 2001: A Space Odyssey, which, if you haven't seen, watch it, though it's kind of boring. Why am I using this quote from Arthur C. Clarke? Well, because the lines between storytelling and science and religion and magic are very blurry when we're talking about myths, right? And that's really what Clarke is getting at. Science is magical. Religion has magical elements. Religion also connects with our understanding of nature, which is science. For Arthur C. Clarke, it's not, well, science and religion go together and magic's off on the side, or magic makes a lot of sense when you think about it with religion, but like obviously religion and science are opposites. No. Arthur C. Clarke is like, no, they are all interconnected. Science is magic, magic is religion, religion is scientific, and vice versa, and back and forth. We can no longer differentiate between them. So, what is the divide between magic, science, and religion? Our society talks about religion and science as if they have nothing to do with each other, right? Oh, creationism versus evolution. And people who are scientific say, I don't believe in magic. They still don't own a black cat, though. So, what is the divide between magic, science, and religion? And I would argue that there really isn't that much of a divide, that all of them are about trying to understand why things happen and why the universe looks the way that it does. And we constantly intertwine magical thinking with scientific thinking and religious belief. So, is it really necessary to divide the three? And in fact, don't all three of them inform each other? At least that's my opinion, but it's definitely something that I would like you to think about a little more. Thanks so much for listening, guys.